Richard Southern here in the 680 newsroom. A turbulent, money-losing week for stocks is in the books, and it came amid trade tariff tit-for-tat talk from Trump. The U.S. president announcing a list of Chinese goods going into the U.S. that there'll be trade tariffs on. Beijing answering right back, announcing trade tariffs of its own on U.S. goods, everything from Ford motor cars to Jack Daniel's whiskey. Then on Thursday night, Trump said we want $100 billion in additional tariffs. China said they will answer back again. So big back and forth. Wall Street lower, TSX lower on this ever-growing trade war. Trouble for Tim Hortons, perhaps, this past week, as a new survey came out and it showed Canada's ubiquitous coffee and donut chain sliding down the list of companies that Canadians admire the most. This list compiled by Leger, National Public Relations. Google, the most admired company, followed by Shoppers Drug Mart, Canadian Tire, Sony, Samsung, Microsoft. Dollarama holds the 7th spot, Kellogg's the 8th, then Campbell's and Kraft. You got to go down to 50th spot to find Tim Hortons. It's down from 4th spot last year. Of course, Timmy's has faced an onslaught of negative publicity as of late. Some of its Ontario franchises clawed back employee benefits after the minimum wage increase went up. Many of the franchise owners are suing the Brazilian head office. And a couple of weeks ago, the head office announced a $700 million renovation of the store interiors, asking the disgruntled franchise owners to pay half the bill. And shares in Restaurant Brands International, the Tim Hortons parent, they're lower on a year-to-date basis on Bay Street. Well, golf, certainly top of mind for many this weekend. Are you having a look at the Masters? Golf's biggest tournament is on. Tiger Woods is back. And while we may check out the golf, fewer of us are actually playing it. Yes, golf attendance at the course is way down. It takes a lot of time to play. That's why people are doing it less. It's expensive and it's frustrating to attract the younger generation. Sports trying different things, like 6-hole courses. They've even experimented with making the hole bigger. I want to show you what the big push is, though, to bring in some younger players. It's called Topgolf. This is a franchise chain, 3-level driving range. Guests use microchip balls that instantly score themselves, showing players the accuracy and distance of their shots on a TV set up in their hitting bay, so you don't actually have to walk through a course. There's top shelf booze, food. Cineplex, Canada's theater chain, teaming up with Topgolf. They may bring some locations here close to home. Tough traveling with kids on an airplane, we know that. I want to show you what Air New Zealand is doing to try and make that experience better. Wow, take a look at this. It's a row of 3 economy seats that turns into a flat surface, kind of like a futon. Adults traveling with kids will be able to take advantage of a new harness and belt and will allow them to lie down with their kids for the entire flight. Air New Zealand making this available on their 777s and 787s. They don't fly to Toronto, they do fly to Vancouver. The cost of this, $300 to $800 extra on top of the regular tickets. New report this past week found Canadians lead the world in wasting food. Not good, and it costs a lot of money. There's some really interesting products out there now, though, that people are buying to help you keep food longer and therefore save money. I want to show you some of them. First of all, it's called the Blurple, $16.95. What you do, you put this in your fridge. It absorbs ethylene gas, which is the gas that accelerates the ripening process of fruits and vegetables, so it helps them last longer. How about the Onion Saver? It extends the life of a cut onion. Contains the odors too. Reusable food wrap for $18. So you wrap up your perishables with this. You cover a bowl. It has antibacterial properties and it helps keep the food fresh, and you can keep using it over and over again. Veggie Life Extender food liners. You put this at the bottom of your food crisper, lets the air circulate in a way that keeps the fruit and veggies from spoiling quickly. The herb storage container. Put it in the door of your fridge and put your herbs, your basils, and what have you in there, and it keeps them lasting longer. And finally, the banana bag, said to extend the freshness of your bananas by up to 2 weeks. A report found the average Canadian tosses away 170 kilograms of food every year, costing the economy about $30 billion overall. Interesting news out of the art world. What do you think? How much would you pay for this? This is a giant life-size clump of Play-Doh. Looks like some of your kids might make, right? Well, this is expected to be auctioned for around $20 million at Christie's auction house. Lovers of modern art will recognize the artist Jeff Koons. For decades, he's made installations ranging from a big aluminum dog to big baseball bats. As for why he created the Play-Doh sculpture,
the inspiration really came from one of my children, from my son Ludwig. And I brought him some Play-Doh, and he made a mound of Play-Doh, and he said, Dad, and I turned to what? He went, voila. in front of this mound of Play-Doh, and he was so proud. And I looked at it and I thought, you know, this is really what I try to do every day as an artist, to make objects that you can't make any judgments about.
A sculpture presented a logistical problem for the Christie's auction house in that they had to remove the doors to the building to get it inside. Finally, a lot of people may be wanting to try this this weekend. Jollibee, the big Filipino fast food chain, opened here in the GTA last weekend, and there's been tremendous lines ever since. This, they say, the McDonald's of the Philippines. Opening its first GTA location at Kennedy in the 401 at the Kennedy Commons Plaza there. I want to show you some of the dishes that they're known for. First off, they are known for their crispy chicken. $14.99 is the Toronto pricing for 6 pieces of chicken. But the menu gets more interesting beyond there. They're really known for their Jolly Spaghetti, as they call it, $5.99 here locally. The spaghetti more sweet than savory. It's full of ground beef, chunks of ham, and hot dog and sausage. I want to try this one, the Palabuck Fiesta for $6.99. These are noodles in a shrimp sauce topped with crispy pork chicharron, smoked fish, toasted garlic and eggs. Looks interesting. Burger steak for $6.49. Basically their take on a Salisbury steak with a side of rice. Jollibee has almost 1,000 locations throughout the Philippines, and they're now starting a big expansion through the GTA to take advantage of a lot of Filipino immigration here. And I'm told they're handing out tickets in the early morning throughout the day. So you have to get there early right now if you want to get a taste of Jollibee here in Toronto at Kennedy in the 401. In the 680 newsroom, Richard Southern, City News.